Welcome back to another episode of Hobby Business. I hope you all have been having a great end of the summer. I got to go visit my childhood collection in Chicago and came back home with thousands and thousands of cards. So that's always exciting. And looking forward to the work ahead as the weather starts to turn, fall starts to come upon us, and more time inside spent able to list and ship cards. But today, what I'm looking forward to doing is kind of a graded card overview. I'm going to go over the top 5 companies of graded cards that I have and give you just my thoughts on each slab. I'm not talking specifically about the card or the grade, but the overall slab. What do I like about it? What don't I like about it? And kind of go from there. So I think everybody, maybe not everybody, but a lot of people talk about the big 4 in terms of grading. Beckett, SGC, PSA, and CSG. And then there's all sorts of other companies out there that are vying for 5th or just to be mentioned. The only other company I have graded slabs cards of is GMA. So I'm going to start with them as from the 5 companies that I'm going to go through. They're what I would consider to be my least favorite. But we'll go over this. So this one right here is a GMA SI for kids, Vince Young. Vince Young was a fun quarterback to watch in college, electrifying. He was also on the Packers, and I am a Packers fan, for those of you that know, for a period of time. So I bought a lot, like a dozen, a collection of Vince Young graded cards on eBay about a year ago or so. And so this one came with it. So one of the Sports Illustrated for kids. So one of the things that I do find interesting is the Gem Mint 10 grade on this one. It is Sports Illustrated for kids, so everything is perforated. So I do find that interesting. I don't think that Gem Mint 10 grade from GMA really would hold up to the naked eye. But I know they grade these Sports Illustrated cards a little bit differently than other cards because they are perforated. But for today, what I want to talk about is the slab. This one, the roundedness of the edges, so it kind of looks like a big cell phone. It is, you can see the side. It feels kind of flimsy to me. The label, the flip, as folks call it, looks like anybody really could have created that from their printer. Nothing fancy, nothing special. Probably my least favorite. The one on the back, I honestly don't know what this actually refers to. And it looks like I also got a piece of somebody's DNA in there. That's a strand of hair. So probably not Vince Young's hair, but somebody's hair while they were grading it. Least favorite one that I have. I do know that GMA had a new label. I've got a nice sweet deal on this one. I collect presidential cards. Not a big collector of it, but I am a historian, so I do enjoy the presidential cards. This 2021 Pieces of the Past slab. So this one, when we compare the two, the slab, this one slab's a little crisper, cleaner. The flip is, I think, much better looking than the old one if you compare it to the two. The black and gold looks nice. The grade of an 8, probably more accurate of a grade too. But one thing I also noticed on here, you got the code in the back, the QR code. I also didn't know that President Biden was a leading scorer on his football team. So it's kind of interesting. Wonder what position he played. Now I'm interested in that. But that's not for today. So case, better than the old case. A little cleaner. The flip better, in my opinion. GMA, like I said, they're the 5th company that I actually had slabs of, so I wanted to show those off. Now we're going to move on to Beckett. and I have 3 different slabs from Beckett that we'll start with. First is the BCCG, what could be best dubbed their value slab of the past, right? So here's the Vince Young, the scorecard. So 10 mint or better. I always find that interesting. Mint or better. Number 10. It seems like every time you see these are really high grades. But so for this one to review, honestly, this slab feels better than the GMA slab to me in terms of quality. It's not great, but I think it's better than the first GMA slab, and it's relatively comparable to the second one. So you have the area where the corners are open there, which is nice, and that's a nice feature to have. Looks clean in terms of vision. The flip is very basic. So these were mass-produced slabs at the value level, from my understanding. So the lowest end of the Beckett slabs. Now we have Beckett vintage grading. So this was a cool card photo stamp from '69 of Curt Flood. Cool piece that I picked up. It's only Beckett vintage grading card that I had handy for this. It's a photo stamp, so it shows you the gap around it, but it has, they have the little ledges here to keep it centered and keep it there. So nice thick Beckett case. So solid. The gold makes it a little bit tricky. Tilt a little bit to show up the information, but Beckett vintage grading. Nice slab, and fun card. So the last Beckett card I have here in the slab is Aaron Rodgers rookie card, Bowman rookie card. So honestly, when we compare the two, feel very similar to the BVG slab, except you can see in this one you do have I don't know if these markers for stacking purposes, so that you could stack slabs on top of slabs and interlock. I don't know if these ones stack, so not sure actually what these ones do. Those little indents, maybe it just helps stack them, maybe keep them from shifting around or so. So these two Beckett slabs, the regular Beckett slab and the BVG slab, obviously much nicer than the BCCG slab. So this is the thin one, this is the thicker one, much better quality on this slab, and then those two. So BVG and the regular Beckett slab, about the same quality in my mind. And then the BCCG one, the least. So moving on to SGC here, I have 3 different slabs. I have this Hank Aaron Cracker Jack card. The SGC slab, a lot of people like the black border surrounding it. The old flip with the green border, to me, leaves a lot to be desired in the modern age. But some people might like it. I like the card, so I picked up the slab. It's kind of how I want it, nice Hank Aaron 82 Cracker Jack card. So these were, came in, I believe, Cracker Jack boxes on the back, maybe on a big one, because I have a full uncut sheet of this. So I honestly don't know how this one came. But cool card. Right up here, you got the, it's not indented, but it comes out a bit, the sports card. Guarantee LLC. So that's kind of with the scales on the back. So if you hold it up there, you can kind of see a little bit of the background through it. But you got the black border, green flip. Nice case. I would say not as good as Beckett, but a step up from GMA. So that's the old label one. Now here's one, a tobacco era card that comes in. I know a lot of people really like SGC for tobacco cards because you got the, with PSA, you have all the white that surrounds it. And while I don't have any Beckett tobacco cards, here's the Beckett card that is, a non-standard size card. So when you compare the two, that looks, that black border around it, hugs it nicely. So, yeah, I think that, overall, nice look. Same slab as before, green flip. So, yeah, nicely done. I think if I were to buy tobacco cards, this would be the type of slab I'd be looking for to be in. And then here's a more modern card with the more modern flip. And, I think I'm a White Sox fan, so I think White Sox cards would look pretty cool in an SGC holder because of the team colors. So in a way, it's like a slab match. But still overall, I believe it's the same exact slab from the past, just a new flip and design. So SGC is nice, and I like the look. So now PSA is, here's an Eloy Jimenez PSA card. And so honestly, my honest opinion from PSA is if I did a blind feel test, I think PSA has a much weaker case and a much weaker slab than SGC and Beckett. It's probably closest to a GMA slab, in my opinion, in terms of kind of strength. But I think what gets it is the flip. The PSA brand is kind of like the Coca-Cola Red, right? You see a can of Coke and instant recognition. So the brand power gets you. The red flip, I think, has conditioned folks to look past. I won't say other folks. Probably has conditioned me in a way of thinking it's a higher quality slab because it has that. So it's hard for me. I'm just going to own that up front and kind of say that I'm influenced by this flip, and it makes me rank them higher than I would normally if I just felt the slab. The slab itself, nothing special about it, right? In my opinion, feels much closer to a GMA slab than to an SGC slab or a Beckett slab. So I move into my favorite slabs, and I don't have any of the new label ones, but I think CSG has the best slab out there. I know a ton of people didn't like the green flip here. I actually like it. I don't mind it. But what blows me away with CSG is just the crispness of the slab. It's strong, it's dense, it's got great plastic, got a great look to it. You can really truly see the card, and I like the rounded edges. They stack up nicely, and overall, I think CSG has the best slab, the best look, and I am a CSG fan. And like I said, I think the look of it's cool. I personally don't mind the green label. I know a lot of people don't like the green label, and so CSG has come out with a new label for their flip, and people seem to have a acceptable response to that. But all in all, to each their own when it comes to graded cards and companies. So today, the purpose of it for me here, I just wanted to do a little bit of a review, but I also want to hear, what do you think? What are your favorite slabs? Which company, regardless of price. So I'm not looking at any of this through the lens of how much it costs to grade with a company. I'm just looking solely at the slab itself. That's my hope for my review today. That was what I hoped to do. So CSG, I think, has the best, in my opinion. PSA I put as 2, which is interesting because I think it's just the brand power of the red flip that gets me. I think the slab personally is pretty weak. But I think the look of it, I'm influenced by it. I'll just be honest with it. SGC, I think, is a solid 3. Looks nice. And then kind of going into Beckett, you got I'm going to hold up the BVG slab. And then I think they have the 4th nicest. And then I'll close with GMA. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts on, what other car grading companies do you have slabs of? I know there's a lot out there. What would you put in the 5th spot? Which company would you think? And what do you like of their slabs and why? Anyways, that was my graded card review of the slabs. This is all opinion. Everybody is entitled to their opinion. And as I kind of go through it, I do want to just kind of highlight these two. I said that I think PSA and GMA are pretty close. And when you look at the two, I think they're pretty similar, in my opinion, in terms of, if I switch these up, I don't know if you'd be able to tell which case was which without the flips. So, anyways, this concludes this episode of Hobby Business and the graded card review of the companies. Hope you have a great day and love to hear your thoughts.